My wife had just gone to the store when my 7-year-old whispered, "We have to get out, right now." My wife had just left, her footsteps fading against the driveway, when my daughter tugged at my sleeve. Her voice was a whisper sharpened by fear. "We have to get out, right now." I laughed at first, a nervous, hollow sound. "Why?" She didn't answer with words, she only lifted a trembling finger toward the staircase. The air shifted, my chest tightened. The house was quiet, too quiet. For 7 years I had lived inside these walls, convinced I knew every shadow, every creak of the floorboards, every rhythm of my wife's movements. But in that silence, I realized there were things I had never questioned. My daughter's eyes glistened with panic. "We don't have time," she whispered. "We have to leave this house now." I didn't argue. Something in her tone, something that told me she had seen or heard what I had ignored for years, slipped past my defenses. I grabbed the car keys. We left the front door unlocked behind us. At the police station, fluorescent lights buzzed. My daughter clung to me, refusing to let go. I told them I thought someone was in the house. I told them I wanted it searched. But even as the words left my lips, I knew this wasn't about intruders. It was about something closer, something I had pretended not to see. That's when it happened, the shift, the unraveling, the beginning of the end. The police didn't find anyone upstairs, just clothes folded neatly, drawers half shut, the impression of a quiet, ordinary life. But ordinary had become an illusion. I couldn't shake the look in my daughter's eyes. She wasn't afraid of strangers. She was afraid of someone familiar, someone she couldn't name. My wife returned hours later, carrying plastic bags filled with groceries she didn't need. Her face was carefully arranged, like a portrait. I knew that look, practiced, rehearsed. She kissed my daughter's forehead too quickly, her hands stiff. She never asked why we'd gone to the police. That silence, it told me everything. In the nights that followed, I began noticing the things I had chosen to ignore. Her phone, always face down, her late errands, the locked drawer in her desk, and my daughter's unease whenever she was left alone with her. I felt the betrayal before I confirmed it. It wasn't sudden. It had been seeded long ago, carefully hidden under the mask of normal life. But suspicion is like smoke. It seeps into every breath until you choke on it. And once you taste it, you can never go back. I started quietly, methodical. Phone records, a second bank account, receipts for hotel rooms under a name I didn't recognize. I smiled at her across the dinner table, slicing meat with a steady hand, nodding at her hollow stories about traffic, about sales at the store. She never saw the shift in me. She still thought I was blind. My daughter watched me too, waiting for me to understand. Children know when the ground beneath them is false. They know when love is counterfeit. One night, after she fell asleep, I searched the locked drawer. Inside was a box, photographs, letters, a timeline of a life I had no part in, a second existence meticulously constructed. My wife wasn't only unfaithful, she was someone else entirely. The rage was cold, almost clinical. I didn't shout, I didn't confront, I observed. I ordered a DNA test, not for me, for my daughter. While waiting for the results, I moved through each day like a shadow, smiling when required, listening when expected. But inside, I was dismantling the life we had built, piece by piece, preparing for the truth I already knew. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday, small, unassuming. I opened it at the kitchen table, the same table where we had once pretended to be a family. The results were exact, scientific. My daughter was not biologically mine. I stared at the paper until the words blurred. Then I folded it neatly, slipped it back into the envelope, and placed it in my pocket. That evening, I waited for her to come home. She set her bag down, spoke of errands again, smiled that hollow smile. I slid the envelope across the table. "What's this?" she asked. I didn't answer. She opened it, read it, her face drained of color. Her hands shook. But I didn't want explanations. Explanations are weapons, crafted to soften the blow of betrayal. I already had the truth. That was enough. I sat in silence, calm, unmoving, watching her fall apart. Revenge doesn't need fire. It needs precision. I told her nothing. No accusations, no curses. Only a single sentence, delivered in a voice stripped of warmth. You've been erased. She blinked at me, confusion bleeding into terror. The next day, I withdrew everything from our joint account. I canceled the lease. I filed the papers I had prepared weeks earlier, once suspicion had taken root. I made sure she discovered each piece not through me, but through cold, official letters, through silence, through the absence of what she thought was secure. I never raised my voice, never touched her. My revenge was the emptiness I left behind. Her tears meant nothing. Her pleas, less than nothing. I live differently now, quieter, cleaner. My daughter remains with me. Blood means less than loyalty. She chose me when she whispered, "We have to get out." That was enough. As for my wife, she exists somewhere beyond the edge of my world. A stranger disguised as a memory. I don't hate her anymore. Hatred is still a form of attachment. What I feel now is absence, and absence is the purest form of freedom. I closed the door on that life without looking back. Because the truth, once uncovered, doesn't destroy you, it releases you. And in that release, she lost everything.